Hello everyone, this is Mr. B with some Algebra 2 homework, 3.3 Systems of Inequalities. I'll jump straight into it. First thing, let's see, we've got two different graphs. This first one here is maybe a little bit of a trick. We want to make sure that we have this in point slope form, so I'm going to subtract 2 from each side. That's going to give us, let's see, x minus 2 is less than or equal to y. So we know that the slope here would be 1. Intercept would be 2. Let's see, or negative 2 rather. So there, we've got that, and graph some slope. Something that looks pretty close to that. And let's pick a side. Let's do 0, 0. So we would have 0 minus 2 is less than or equal to 0. Well, that would check out. Negative 2 is less than or equal to 0, so that would check. So we'd shade in this direction. And what about this other one here? Again, maybe a little bit of a trick. I'm going to add 1 to each side, so we would get x plus 1 is less than or equal to, or I'm sorry, just less than 3y. Let's see. I'm going to divide everything by 3, so I'd get 1/3 x plus 1/3 is not equal to, greater than y. Let's see, how can we graph this one? Well, we can just basically pick a point. I'm going to plug in some values for our y here. Because x is whole, it's just got that 1 in front of it. If we plug in whole numbers to y, we're more than likely going to get some whole numbers for here. And we only need to find a point. So I'm going to plug in 0 for y. If y equaled 0 on our borderline, at least, that would be 0 minus 1 equals x. So you would get x equals negative 1 when y equals 0. So you'd have 1, negative 1, 0. Let's see, negative 1 and 0 would be right here. We know that the slope from this is 1/3. And be careful, this is a dashed line. Let's see, positive, here we go. Maybe somewhere right around there. Oh, I already started doing it non-dashed. There we go. All right, but now we need to pick a point. 0, 0 is still eligible, so let's try that one. If we plug in, I'm going to erase some of these arrows that I have drawn in here. If we plug in 0, we'd have 0 is less than 0, 0 is greater than 0 minus 1, and that would check out. 0 is greater than negative 1. I'm plugging these in from this base equation. Just in case I do anything wrong with any of my notation here, I know that if I plug it into the original equation, we should check out. And that's going to be on this side. So really what we're looking for is everything in this little cone. Kind of shooting off. I'm going to erase these exterior marks just for a little bit of clarity. And that's all we would have there. Let's see. These next two are in point slope form, which can be kind of convenient. The only trick that I see here is that they are parallel lines. They have the same slope too, so we just need to be careful. This first one is intersecting at 2, 2 with a slope of positive 2. So we'll graph that guy. This is a dashed line. All right. This next one is, let's see, this would technically be a negative 2x, so it would be negative 2, 2. So it would be over right about here. You know what, let me try a test point on this one first. So if we plug in 0, we would have 0 minus 2 is greater than 2, 0 minus 2. Let's see, that would give us negative 2 is greater than, I'm sorry, negative 2 is less than negative 4. That does not check out. So we would shade in the opposite direction. We'd have to shade this way. So shade in this direction. You might be able to kind of see where this one is going. Same slope. We'd have to try the point 0, 0 on this one here as well. Oh, this is a dashed line as well. All right, so we'll try 0, 0 on this one. So let's see. 0 minus 2 is greater than 2x plus 2. Oh, that was a 0. 0 plus 2. So really it's negative 2 is greater than 4. That does not check out as well, so we'd shade in this direction. So this one has no solution. Right, solve this system of inequalities. Okay. Hey, this one looks pretty similar to what we did on the homework already. We'll divide everything by 3. Just to start it off, x plus y is greater than 3. I will subtract x from each side. That's going to give us y is greater than negative x plus 3. So that's a borderline we can definitely graph. Right there at the intercept with a slope of positive 1. This is a dashed line. All right, easy enough. Let's do a test point. 0 is greater than 0 plus 3. 0 is greater than 3. This does not work. We would have to shade on this side. Let's try this next one here. Let's see, negative 2, positive 5 slope. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'd get up to about right here. We would get up to there, okay. That there. Again, this is just an approximate line. Let's try the point 0, 0 because it is valid. It's not on the borderline. 0 is less than 0 minus 2. This one does not check out either. We'd have 0 is less than negative 2. So it does not check out. So we'd have to shade this side of the equation. If we zoom in right on this one, really, oh, did I do a solid line when I should have done a dashed line? I did. Let me redraw this line here. All right, I'm going to erase that. Zoomed in like this is actually much easier to get right on the point. So, there we go. All right, so this graph doesn't really do it all justice, but the intersection is going to be this little kind of cone that's going to sprout out in that direction. If there is a small portion like this, I would want you guys to maybe draw an arrow to it and say this bit, just to make sure that you know, I don't mark points off when really you know what the answer is, but I just can't see it. All right, let's jump on to the next one. Let's see. Hey, that looks like a very similar line that we just drew right here. Y is less than 5x minus 2. So let's do that. Y-intercept is negative 2. Slope of positive 5. Right up to here. And this is a dashed line. Okay. And let's try, well, do we even have to try 0, 0? We already did for this one, but the sign flipped. So let's go ahead and punch it in there anyway. 0 is less than 0, or greater than 0 minus 2. 0 is greater than negative 2. That checks out. So we would graph on this side of this inequality. This next one here. Be careful, there's a negative in front of this y, so I'm going to multiply by negative 1. Multiply by negative 1. Multiply by negative 1. And that's going to flip our sign. I'm going to do that first, so I don't forget. Y is greater than now. Negative 3x plus 2. So now we have this right here with a slope of negative 3. So we'd have a point right down here. Oh, and this is a dashed line as well. All right. Let's try the point 0, 0. 0 is greater than 0 plus 2. This one's not going to check out. 0 is not greater than 2. So we would have to shade the opposite side of this line that we just drew. We would have this guy right here. So really, we're looking for this kind of cone shooting almost not straight up, of course, but up. I'm going to erase these marks just to make it pretty clear. We would have that right there, this cone. All right, solve this system of inequalities. Hey, this looks like exactly the same one that we did before. Did I make a mistake here? Let's see. Less than. Ooh, okay, I see what I did here. I flipped them. So we're graphing the same lines, but the signs here are flipped, and that's going to give us a very different graph. This one is definitely going to have a solution. It's kind of interesting how it looks, I think. So let's jump into it. Again, we have the point 2, 2 and negative 2, 2, both of them with slopes of positive 2, both with dashed lines. Let's see, can I get that slope right? Yeah, okay. Both with dashed lines. Now, this one is this line here. This one is this line here. Let's try 0, 0 for both of them. We have 0 minus 2 is greater than 2 times 0 minus 2. Well, this is all going to shake out to give us negative 2 is greater than negative 4. That does check out. And remember, it's for this line here, so we would shade in this direction from this first line. And what about this, this next one here? If we try out 0, 0, we would get y minus, not y, we have 0, of course. 0 minus 2 is less than 2, 0 plus 2. So you get negative 2 is less than positive 4. That definitely checks out. So it does check out with that origin. So we'd shade in this direction. They intersect in this kind of wide bar that goes up into infinity. So we'll erase these. And yeah, we're looking for all of this middle bit right here. That's what we'd be looking for. Isn't math great? All right, this last one, I kind of gave you guys a hint. This one is somewhat tricky. Maybe you guys just kind of jumped onto it and saw, well, that makes sense. I'll jump through and graph it though. Let's see, we have an intercept of negative 3, a slope of positive 3. So we would have something like this, and this one is a solid line. That's very important for this one. And if you don't see y already, you will see here in just a little bit. This next one, well, actually, let me graph the direction. Let's see. Does 0, 0 on this one work? 0 is less than or equal to 0 minus 3. So 0 is less than negative 3. That does not check out. That means that we would shade in this direction. All right. And this next one here, well, it's the same line. Does that mean that we have infinite solutions, or are we just going to leave it shaded this way? Not quite. We do have infinite solutions, but we'll see exactly what the solution here is in just a second. Let's see. We've already graphed the line, so let's just try a point. 0 is greater than, oh, that's 0, really. 0 minus 3. 0 is greater than negative 3. So we would shade this side of the equation. Where do these stated sections intersect? Almost nowhere, but they do actually technically intersect because these lines that we drew for both of these are valid options. So this would be it right here, just the line. That's the only part in where they intersect. If we had less than and or we had greater than symbols, then this would have no solution. But we do. They have equal or equal to. So there is absolutely a solution. We can even write out the solution if we want to. The solution for this would be y equals 3x minus 3. Pretty cool, I think. All right. If you guys have extra questions on any of the content that I've gone over, please ask. I said this for section 3.1 homework, and I'll say it again for this one. This stuff is tricky. It's a very applied version of what you guys have done already, but it can be difficult to wrap your head around. So if you're struggling fully understanding the concepts here, that is okay. Just talk to us in class. I mentioned this in class, but we're not going to be doing quizzes anymore, so we'll have plenty of time to go over a lot of these questions in class. You guys can ask me plenty of questions. We'll go over different scenarios, and should all work out. I will see you guys in class. Come to me with your questions there, or if you really want some extra insight, please email me. I try and check my email pretty frequently and respond as fast as I can. If it's over the weekend, I can't make promises, but Monday through Friday, I try and respond before business day is out. So I'll talk to you guys later. See you in class.